Well, guten Tag, Klaus, Fräuleins und Herrs. And hello, ladies and gentlemen. I've got another one. I've got another letter from TV Licensing. It came about 5-10 minutes ago. As per this live stream, I've already been through it, read it myself, removed all my personal information, like my address. It's still addressed to the legal occupier, by the way. Still don't know who the fuck I am, despite the numerous investigations that have been on my property. Now, I believe I've had one like this one before, so if it seems familiar, yeah, I think they're going back through the list again now for some reason. I've got the one that says, it came in one of these things, with the extra window. So that the bit in the window says your IN0100, or rather your IN0100. Dear legal occupier, an IN0100 code has been issued against your address rather. We use it to target unlicensed homes like yours that require a visit from our enforcement officers. This is sounding all too familiar, isn't it? I don't know if I pointed out last time, but it says we use it to target unlicensed homes like yours that require a visit from our enforcement officers. Who decides whether I require a visit? And you use it to target unlicensed homes, do you? What? You could draw a big crosshair on my wall or something. This letter is a formal notification that your details have now been passed to the enforcement team for about the 50th time for your area, and you could be visited at any time, day or evening, weekdays or weekends. Funny, they started a sentence here with the word and. I'm sure we're all taught in school you do not start a sentence with the word and. Or but for that matter, but we need to check you are not breaking the law. You don't need to check anything. They're keeping up with the times, it seems. It's a criminal offence to watch or record live TV without a license on any, and then as a second sentence by itself, on any device. You also need a TV license to be covered for everything on BBC iPlayer. As I pointed out before, no you don't, because you can watch S4C programming on BBC iPlayer without needing a license to do so. You could be prosecuted, little star, there's a thing at the bottom, and have to pay a fine. If enforcement officers find evidence of illegal TV viewing, you could be interviewed on the caution in accordance with national criminal law, which could lead to prosecution. Maximum penalty is a criminal conviction, and you may have to pay a fine of up to £1,000 plus any legal costs and/or compensation. Yeah. If enforcement officers, if our door-to-door salesman realise that you're watching TV illegally, you could be interviewed under caution. No, I don't really think so, but yeah. And it could lead to a prosecution. But now the wording of that is really funny to me. Right? You could be interviewed under caution in accordance with national criminal law, which could lead to a prosecution. Sorry. So me being interviewed could lead to a prosecution. That's only if I tell you anything that could incriminate myself. You could interview me as much as you like, but if I don't give you any information that is going to incriminate myself, because I ain't going to be dumb enough to fucking do that, even if I was breaking the law, which I'm not, it can't lead to a prosecution, can it? I mean, what if they interview me and I tell them that, I'm not watching TV, I haven't watched TV for years, my aerial doesn't work, blah, 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 blah. Right? But that's not going to lead to a prosecution, is it? Of course, it doesn't say, well, it says here, if enforcement officers, door-to-door salesmen, find evidence of illegal TV viewing. Right? So before even interviewing me under caution, right, they have to find evidence of illegal TV viewing. Now, how are they going to find evidence of illegal TV viewing to then question me, which would be pointless because they already know I'm doing it then, don't they? Right? Because if they find the evidence that I'm doing it, well, then they already know I'm doing it, so interviewing me about it is fucking pointless. Right? But how are they but before interviewing me, they have to find the evidence. How are they going to find the evidence? Because at the end of the day, or the beginning of the day, or even at the weekend, depending on when it is they come, you know, the only way they're going to find any evidence of illegal TV viewing is if I let them into my property, which I'm not going to do. No. If they attempt to set foot in my property without my permission, well, then that becomes a whole new kettle of fish, doesn't it? What are we saying? Opens up another can of worms. Another weird saying. Yeah? Because then they're setting foot on my property without permission, which means they are now trespassing not only on my property, because as I've pointed out in previous videos, the property on which I live is private property, but obviously they would be stepping into my own personal space, which is definitely my property. It's my property. It's not just private property, it's now my property. So if they step foot through my door without being asked, they are trespassing on my property now, and then I have a legal right to use reasonable force to kick them the fuck out. And I will do that. I will do that. I don't care how fucking cocky they are. I don't care how much authority they think they have, because they don't have any authority whatsoever. Well, anyway, we'll finish our letter off. Got your typical shit here, to stop this visit from the enforcement team, buy a TV license, move an existing license to your current address, tell us you don't need one. To stop this visit to your home and change the status of your IN0100 code, you need to act now. Yeah, I'm going to go put on a little play in a minute. You're fine. Yours faithfully, once again, Scott Robson. I have to look into that. I keep mentioning it in these videos, but I'm going to have to actually look into it. Does this Scott Robson actually fucking work for this company? I might just ring them up one day and go, excuse me, I'm really curious about something. No, I don't need a TV license. No, I just want to ask you a question. What's that? Does a Scott Robson work for you? No. Where's his name on all your fucking letters? No. I need to change that. Yeah, this was issued on the 9th of October. It is now the 19th, and I've only just received it. It took 10 days to get here. You fucking kidding me? What's on the back? Oh, telling you how to get TV license and shit like that. Then. But yeah, that's another letter from TV licensing. It's interesting. I think it was the last letter, was it? They were expecting to come and see me, and I was like, yeah, fucking come and see me. Yeah. Now they've come back to, we've opened an investigation. Well, not we've opened an investigation. They've already investigated out there. We've got the IN0100 code issued against my address again for about the 5th time since the stop payment TV license. Just seems fucking pointless to me, isn't it? Of course, as I've pointed out many times before, it's all a big scare tactic, right? It's just to make you think, oh no, I better get a TV license, even if I don't need one, right? If you don't need one, you don't need one. But why do they think you have to tell them you don't need one? If I don't need something, I don't need it. I don't need to tell other people I don't need it. If I don't need to shop in Tesco today, I'm not going to ring Tesco up and say, sorry, I'm not coming to shop today. No. If I don't need an Amazon Prime subscription or something, I don't have to ring them up and say, sorry, I don't need to be subscribed to you anymore. And I don't ever need to subscribe to you again unless I have decided to in the future. No. So why do they think that you need to tell them? Every 2 years, it seems. I don't need to tell you that I don't need your services. This is not how things work. And, as I pointed out in previous videos, you can't simply assume I'm doing something, whether it be illegal or not. You have to have proof. Even the police have to have proof before they can even arrest you on suspicion of something. Well, they can arrest you on suspicion of something without proof, right? But if they arrest you specifically for something, right? They're not arresting you on suspicion of burglary. They're arresting you for actual burglary. Like, I'm arresting you for burglary, as opposed to I'm arresting you on suspicion of burglary. They have to have some evidence that you committed this burglary, otherwise they can't arrest you for burglary. Right? So you, TV license people, cannot say I'm doing something wrong and send me letters saying that I might be doing something wrong, or you think I'm doing something wrong, without actually knowing whether or not I actually am doing something wrong. Because what you have right there in that letter is a defamatory statement, which I think I pointed out on a previous video. And I'm sure the black belt barrister could advise me on this matter and tell me whether that is actually true. And it is a defamatory statement, isn't it? You're accusing someone of doing something they aren't doing, and you're accusing someone of doing something wrong that they aren't doing. Right? That's a defamatory statement, isn't it? And since it is written down, or in this case, as with the letters typed out, does that not become a libelous statement? Sure it does. I'm sure that's how the law works. So that's a civil court. But as I've also pointed out in previous videos, sending these letters is also classed as harassment, which is a criminal court matter. Sure, the black belt barrister can tell me if I'm wrong there. And I have pointed out, in previous videos that I'm working on a case to take me to court. I'm still working on that. It's a little difficult to get a lawyer that will take the case. Plenty of lawyers will give me advice about making the case and how to bring it and all that sort of stuff. But no lawyer is actually willing to actually take the case so far, because most of them would want a large amount of money for doing so that I can't afford. So once again, justice is only for the rich, and the poor can go to hell, it seems. So I'll keep you up to date with these things as they progress. I'm still waiting on the visit. Maybe I'll record that, may not. It may end up being an audio recording rather than a video recording. If it does, I'll make it into a video. The audio will play in the background, and there'll be like a slideshow of random pictures or something, much like the ones I used to do on my old account. When I used to do slideshow videos and put music in the background. But in this case, it will be the audio of the encounter, and then the slideshow will be made to go with that, rather than the pictures go first and the music used to go with that. So it's going to be the opposite of what I used to do, but also somewhat similar. But anyway, I digress. I digest. These people will they just don't get it, do they? They don't realise that repeatedly harassing people with these intimidatory or threatening methods isn't really going to get them anywhere. Because most people, when they think they need a TV license, will just go and get one. If you really think you need a TV license and you really are happy to actually get one, right? You want to be watching TV without breaking the law, right? Then you're going to get one, aren't you? These letters are pointless then, aren't they? Yeah. They're just designed. I mean, they're not pointless because the way they work actually works, right? Because they're just designed to scare people into thinking they need a TV license when they don't. Now, imagine how many people get a letter like this and go, oh God, better get a TV license. Even if they don't need one, right? I mean, that's 4 TV license applications a year, isn't it? So the letters are quite effective in that regard. But when they're sending them out to people like me, who doesn't have a TV license, doesn't need a TV license, doesn't watch or record live TV, and can't watch or record live TV, it's just a waste of paper and a waste of time and effort. And it's just a mild, at least, annoyance. I mean, from my point of view, keep receiving these letters, it's no longer a mild annoyance. It's absolutely pissing me off. And I'm getting absolutely fucking sick of it. And I tell you what, if I lived anywhere near their offices where these letters come from, they would know how pissed off I was, because I would turn up at their office and I would take all the letters with me and I would throw them at the nearest cunt and go, you send me one of these fuckers again, I'll staple it to your forehead. But you know, I'm not a vindictive person at all. I don't have any anger management problems. I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy. But I'm pretty crazy about getting these fucking letters. Every month, just about every month. The odd one must get lost in the post here or there, but I usually get them every month. And the weird thing is, as much as I'm sick of getting them, you know, I know as soon as it comes in one of these envelopes with the little fucking window in it, I know who it's from. You know, even without looking at the address, it says the legal occupier. I already know who it's from because it's got that window in it. I know who it's from. Oh, well. And as much as it annoys the hell out of me receiving them, I get to make these videos about it, and I get to inform you that this sort of thing is still happening. I'm not the only one that does this sort of videos. There's other people you can find online. There's Chili John Carney, for one. He makes TV licensing letter videos as well. Quite a few other people as well that do it, and there's people that record like the goons come into the door and all that sort of stuff, and they upload them to the internet. So there's plenty of us out there that's putting the message out that if you don't feel you need a TV license because you can't watch TV, or you're not watching TV, right, and you're not watching BBC content on BBC iPlayer, you do not need a TV license. And these letters being sent to you is just to scare you into thinking you need one, or to scare you into getting one, you know, for fear of like, oh, they're going to come and look at my door. No. It's all just designed for that, you know. So I mean, it's ultimately pointless. I mean, it doesn't really work per se. I mean, it works a little bit in a certain way, but it doesn't really work. So anyway, that's the end of that, I suppose. Well, those took nearly 20 minutes. Just talk about TV licensing. Yeah. I'll keep you up to date on what happens, you know, when I get more letters and things like that, and if the guys actually do turn up at the door, because that is going to be interesting.